My YouTube channel only has like 3 videos from classes that have been required at certain times. It's so funny.
And I think we need to put everybody's name on here. I think that's what we're requesting.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and put my name first.
If I know how to spell.
Can we all type at the same time?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
We each have a different cursor color.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did.
You broke it.
I know. That's how I am.
That's funny. Oh, that's awesome. All right.
It's me. It wouldn't be a group meeting if I didn't do something.
That's funny. Okay. Well, let's start with the first question then. Let's go to, where is it? There we go. Okay, so first we have to briefly summarize the case.
Okay, I can go ahead and start it.
Okay?
Okay, so basically,
Does anybody want to copy and paste their answer in there and then we can just edit?
yeah. Well, mine's kind of like, I didn't like make it like perfect. I kind of just like.
That's a good place to start. Let's just have a starting point maybe.
Okay. I just kind of put like, I didn't put all of it. I just kind of started it.
Mm-hmm.
It only has to be 100 to 200 words anyway.
Yeah.
For a summary, so super easy.
Oh, the summary does?
Yeah, it says that each of the answers only need to be 100 to 200 words, so that's almost nothing.
Yeah.
So it's not, it doesn't require a lot. Okay, so the case involves a pregnant wife who trips and falls down a flight of stairs. She seeks medical attention 2 days later. Their son was born prematurely and didn't have a strong chance of survival. Jeanette used to be a single mom, and then her new husband adopted her daughter. Husband wasn't notified of baby's death and found out the next morning and was upset. Jeanette was all alone during this hard time. Okay, what happens next?
Well, I need to go back to the study guide. Much of the case.
Well, and then they had a bunch of kids, and then they had 2 twin boys, and one was having problems and ended up dying.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to copy.
And Jeanette turned to her mom during this time.
Yeah, she
Okay.
turned to her mom.
So this is what I have from that point on. I just cut out the first half of mine because I think you did a good job on the first part.
Okay.
So kind of read through that and see if there's anything that you caught that I didn't. I think the interesting thing about these case studies is that we're each, because we're coming from different perspectives, we're each getting different things out of it.
Yeah.
So what I pulled out of it might not be the same as what you pulled out of it. So let's make sure and add what everybody's thinking.
Mm-hmm. Jeanette turns to her mother and Peter turns to work to keep him busy. Their family continues to grow in spite of the unspoken rift between them and missed opportunity to grow closer together. They eventually have twins. Following another difficult delivery and some extended time in the hospital, the young family was settled into the negative habits of fighting and arguing between the children, feelings of being overwhelmed and lonely by Jeanette, and excessive work by Peter to fill the emotional void. One of their twins falls ill and passes away at the age of 6. After the most recent tragedy, the family senses immediate change. They no longer fight, they spend more quality time together, and there is a sense of purpose and togetherness that wasn't there before. They attribute it to the loss of their brother and feel like he accepted the responsibility to unify their family through his death. I think that is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I think one thing that I noticed, I thought was one of their resources was prayer, as together as a family, making sure that everybody was able to come together. And I think that was one thing, like with the decision of letting him go off of life support.
Absolutely.
So
Is that one of the questions? Does it ask relevant
resources that they had.
relevant opportunities? So that
Yeah.
yeah, let's definitely come back to that for sure. Okay, so if anyone has anything else to add, go ahead and type it in now. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next question.
Did we say Jeanette was a stay-at-home mom? I don't know. Did we?
What's that?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Well, did it specifically say she's a stay-at-home mom?
Not those words, but she did
I don't.
take
It was
care
kind of implied, but Susan, if you feel like we need to do a better job of that, then go ahead and add that in there.
Well, we could say Jeanette turns to her mother and Peter turns to work to keep him busy. Let's see. He works hard and she stays at home. Where can we put that?
Okay.
Do you think we should mention something about part of the reason they came to the decision of taking the son off life support was because of Peter's dying grandma or mother, aunt, somebody,
Grandma.
or grandma,
Mhm.
yeah, or no.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, if we feel like that's a significant part of, definitely. Let's see, where could we put that in?
I think they made the decision before they knew that.
They did.
And it just kind of was a coincidence. It was kind of one of
Do
those.
we need to put in there, though, that it was a family decision to take him off of life support?
I think so.
Like if I added in here,
I think we should add.
family made the decision together through prayer to take
Jerry.
Jerry.
take Jerry.
Mhm.
Give that enough of a nod, do you think? Nicole, does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did we come up with for, is there anything else for the first one? Or are we good?
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Principles and concepts from the course that can be applied in offering help or direction. What do you guys come up with?
Up with it.
Paste it. Before I copy and paste
Definitely.
anything in, I mean, I thought of the ABCX model.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's what I thought of
yeah,
too.
the cognition part of it. This is what I wrote. I just said in the loss of the first child, Jeanette and Peter both thought such different things. Jeanette accepted it. Peter wanted to fight for their baby. This set an emotional tone for the experience, and it resulted in a change in the family dynamic and support system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
So, I mean, and then obviously, and then that was just kind of what I thought about that. What other thoughts did you guys have about the ABCX model specifically?
Well, I just sort of identified the stressor and just said the loss of the baby. Peter wanted,
Yeah.
and Jeanette accepted the death. Kind of what you said. And I just labeled it A and then just said B.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to add that in here, Susan? Just kind of maybe do like a bullet point or something.
Yeah.
How you labeled that, and then I think that would be. Don't you love auto format?
Golly, well, let me start. Well, I think we can change it. But
If anything, I would hit tab because that might move the A over.
that's what I did, but it won't budge. Are you on? Yeah,
There you go.
there you
Oh,
go.
there you
Thank you.
It takes a village. Oh, that's funny.
I do that a lot of times with some things that I do. So
hmm
Whoops, I already got a B.
I think the interesting thing in this case is that,
you'll just have to change X.
yeah, there's so many different, like this ABCX thing really kind of overlaps. Like it feels like there's a lot of different stressing event. That so many things are happening simultaneously and one after the other that, you know, I think that the stressor could be that he works too much. The stressor could be that the kids are fighting. The stressor could be that the baby died, or that the 6-year-old is sick or died, or really, gosh, I don't know. I think that really you can't go wrong with identifying which stressor you know we're talking about, because there's several that are in here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to add more, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's more like the person's perception that is reading the story, what they're gonna identify.
Yep, exactly. But I think, Susan, I think you're right. The initiator is the loss of that first baby, because I think that everything else kind of snowballed from there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I keep reading these case studies and I'm like, my life is so good.
I know.
Oh my gosh, my house isn't burning down. I mean, it would be nice sometimes. I think it would be nice to have that happen, because then we could get some new furniture. But, and, you know, I'm like, oh, we just need a fire. But I don't mean it. And you know, you read things like that, and it's like, no, never mind. I don't want it at all.
Yeah, me and my friend have this saying. Well, every now and then we'll look at each other after we hear someone's story, you know, the hard times they've gone through, and we'll look at each other and we'll be like, so what was my problem again?
I know, totally. Yep.
And I don't have anything for X yet, so.
That's good.
But I don't know what you guys think about that. So.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, that looks good.
So good. Yeah, definitely.
And
I'm not gonna lie, you guys. The worst thing to see at this time of night is your face in a webcam. I'm sorry. It must have been a long day, because I don't know. Sorry. It's been.
You gotta have 2 Dr. Peppers like I did.
There you go. Oh shoot.
Then you realize how amazing you really look. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Of course, I gotta be careful because my laptop's sitting on my lap, so if I move, the laptop falls back, and then you can't see me anymore.
That's funny.
okay.
All right. Okay. What else other than the ABCX model did we come up with?
That's the main one that I came up with.
Okay. I also wrote down, just because I had to think, I felt like I needed to come up with another one. Like, I just put, according to the behavioral model of cognitive behavioral therapy, because, you know, we learned that there's the 4 models. There's the biological and the behavior and the other 2, you know, the other 2. According to the behavioral model, if they change the way they think, they can change the way they feel. Jeanette thinks that Peter works so much because he doesn't want to be home, and so she feels overwhelmed, tired, and lonely. Peter thinks Jeanette isn't satisfied because she doesn't have the luxuries to make her life easier, so he feels like he has to work more to compensate and provide for her. If they just change those thoughts, their feelings would also change and they could reconnect. But I ran into a wall, though, because then I'm thinking, well, maybe I would need to say how they could change those thoughts, and I don't really know. So I don't know if that's worth including, because it's kind of a dead end.
Well, and changing certain thoughts takes sometime, and when you're already not in the right frame of mind,
Right.
you know.
Right. So do you think we'll get dinged if we only reference the ABCX, or do you think it's worth probing into some of these other things?
Um,
'Cause she
Well,
very-
here's
I
an-
know when I did the last case study, I only did the ABCX, and
Yeah.
I didn't get.
You did okay on that one. She docked
Yeah,
me
I
points on
think.
the last one, but I don't know why. I didn't read it.
Perhaps one thought that I had was principles or concepts from what we've learned. Last week we learned about family councils. Super simple concept for me.
Put that in.
I can put that in, and having a family council is super important.
Yeah.
For that.
Well, that's true, because if you think if they had family councils all along, like, would that have solved some of the arguing problems with the kids?
That's
That
what
have
I was
solved
thinking.
some of the, connective things with her and the husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you would have had that stronger bond with each other, and you were willing to see the other person's side of the story and everything.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I like it. Stick that in there.
Okay.
Then those mood vlogs, or would that go below? Like, that goes somewhere else.
Where did I put mood logs?
I put mood logs, recommended coping strategies at the bottom.
That's where I
Okay.
put it too. That's where.
I remember putting mood vlogs. I'm like,
Yeah.
where did I put that? No.
I put it there too.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do you want to leave D off and not put the X, or should we think of something?
The X was
The total.
Total experience of what? I don't know.
they
Yeah,
were they
define-
got closer together because pretty much that kind of helped put an end to the majority of the fighting. So they were able to grow closer together as a family and realize
Yeah.
life is short, and you don't know, because even in the story the dad said, we don't know how long we have each other.
Mm-hmm. So it kind of changed their eternal perspective. As
Yeah,
well.
it made them grow closer together as a family because they realized, you know what, life is short, and we might not, someone might be gone tomorrow, someone might not, but yeah.
Make it so, Nicole. Type that in there.
Yeah, right there by X. You see it?
I don't remember what I just said. It was really good though.
Yes, it was.
Hey, we can replay it. We can replay the video. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, wait. Let me see if let me tap into my inner
Okay.
wow
Go
moment
to
that I had.
your Zen place and recreate the moment.
Okay. Okay. Oh shoot. Apparently the cursor got moved.
Keep looking there. There you go.
Okay.
That's cool when everybody types their name shows up.
I'm so
Yeah.
amazed right now. This is the coolest thing.
And it automatically saves too, which is really nice.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Multiple people can type at the same time.
I kind of want to type just because.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to type though, so I won't.
Oh shoot, how did I put that?
The dad stated they realized that
Might not.
they might not have each other.
I've got it written down here somewhere.
Oh no, that wasn't it. Okay, I got it. Woo-hoo! I don't have to. Okay. All right, how's that?
I think that looks good.
I like
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3.
Okay, relevant risks and dangers.
First one.
Blaming each other.
I think also one of them was the dangers of the risk with both Jeanette and Peter having been raised in families that didn't have the best examples of problem solving for their parents' marriages. So that probably could have
Yeah, I
helped
didn't
in
pick
there.
up on that at all.
I also
I remember reading that, but I didn't pick up on that.
I also think that a way, like something that they did to cope was that they thought like buying all these nice things would like solve their marriage and like making their house look a lot better than what it used to before.
Mhm.
And so I think that they just thought that was going to make their relationship better by making all these purchases, especially when they didn't really have the money to spend, but they did it anyways because they probably thought they could fix something with, I don't know.
Mhm.
Well, the way I said it was he overworked, she became frustrated. They didn't seem like they were getting ahead, and they had no contentment.
Mm-hmm.
The more he worked, the more frustrated she got, and the more they weren't content.
Mhm.
Yeah, I also added, like, put in there that they have the risk of the loneliness and isolation. And there's also a risk of resentment and blame between the two of them. If just putting my own self in that position, I know that if it was my husband and me, I don't know that if we didn't talk about it, would you start to blame or like
Well,
self blame,
especially where they were
like self
on
blame?
without talking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you push something that major down to where you don't talk about it for how many years was that? 40?
Well, I mean, between the time the baby died and the time that other kid was 6, it would have been like 10, 15 years.
Yeah, and then it said, you know, they didn't even talk about it until they were interviewed for the case in like 2013 or something like that.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Strange.
You know, the fact that they stayed married, you know, that long with that huge a resentment, or not resentment, but I mean, that can just pushing that down, you know. When I push major things down, like the pen doesn't work, and then it's just some big like nuclear explosion, like because of all that pushed down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's a definite. I mean, everything that you hear from the perspective post Jerry dying is from the kids. It's not from them. It's the kids that are recognizing the change, and it's the kids that are having a good attitude about it. You don't hear anything from the parents.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's definitely the risk of the resentment and self blame for sure.
Which is probably why they didn't even talk about the death at all. I
Right.
think that they probably should have mourned together, but it's like they didn't even mourn at all. It's like their son like almost never even existed because they didn't talk about it at all,
Mm-hmm.
which is very it could definitely like ruin a marriage and definitely play a really big factor in many different things.
Well, as a mother, like you think about if it was you that fell down the stairs, like if I had lost a baby because I fell, I would absolutely take responsibility for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. How would you ever get over that? I don't know. So
Yeah, because not only do you blame, you know, or the risk of blaming each other, you know, it's blaming yourself too. Like, oh well, you know,
which ultimately is
then,
that more damaging? Is that more damaging?
Yeah,
like,
you know, like
to her loneliness. Like, I'm lonely because I feel guilty. I'm lonely because I'm sad.
Well, I know, like with me, when I mean, I'm not gonna get into it, but I, in my little genius Nook Colville moments, I spoke out, like I said something I shouldn't have said. A few months later, an incident happened with me and someone in my ward, and it was he was kind of retaliating on me against what I said a few months prior. And so not only did I hate him, I hated me, but then it's like, okay, well, you know, and I had people constantly like, you should go talk to the bishop about it. It's like, well, yeah, but I deserved it because
Exactly.
that was my punishment from Heavenly Father for this. And, you know, and so a lot of that, the mind frame of that was, am I being punished for something? This is my punishment. Like,
Totally. Yeah. Which I
No,
think
so-
goes into like a lack of forgiveness, maybe.
yeah. So probably something like forgiveness
Well,
there, because it's like,
and
you know, I don't know. But I just know how I think. And, you know, on something like this, I would be going back through my life. Did I do something to make you angry at me?
sure.
We mentioned children's behavior. They had behavioral problems because,
Yeah.
and their family didn't have any growth because everybody seemed to be having such regret, don't you think? The parents were having so much regret that they couldn't focus on the family they have. That's what we were kind of studying this week, was that mindful thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they weren't ever in the moment, they always were in the past, don't you think?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, living in the past.
Yeah, always thinking
Yeah.
about, and they never.
Yeah, 'cause something like that would definitely have you living in the past for a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. Mindful. I like that one.
And relationship, I don't know, tools, skills, what? I don't know what the word is.
I would say tools,
That work? I mean,
because I think that's how I've heard it before, like parenting tools and
Or parenting
I think
skills.
either one's tools or skills.
Yeah,
how's that?
that works.
There you go. Best of both worlds.
Perfect.
That's awesome. Okay, anything else on relevant risks and dangers that this faces? I think that's a pretty good list.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
good
Perfect.
too. That's
Okay. Relationship considerations. Let's see. Oh, we skipped relevant opportunities.
We did.
Here, I'll move it up.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I was wondering, like you said, didn't talk or mourn the death of their child together. Do you think it was because they just were avoiding the emotional pain?
Oh,
Could
I'm
be.
sure. Yeah.
Should we add that?
Yeah.
Don't want to deal with not accepting of what happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay, a relevant opportunity. Okay. Oh, we haven't got it.
Here, let me go ahead and add that.
Okay.
Sorry, it wasn't working for me.
Ah,
I wonder if there's too many people working on it at once.
I'm not touching it right now, so.
it's me. The cursor is bugging the crap out of me.
I put a relevant opportunity. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but the first thing that came to my mind is the opportunity to draw closer to the Savior through the atonement. I mean,
Yeah.
how else could you get over the death of a child and all the other difficulties in their life without the Savior? So I mean, I think there's an opportunity here to
Strengthen the bond.
really
with
gain a
the-
testimony of the atonement, you know, and have hope for the future, because as a family, looking forward to having their children again. That comes through the doctrines of the church and through the atonement. So I think that's a relevant opportunity, even though it's not something discussed in class. But
Yeah.
Well, I thought during the funeral when the 11-year-old boy was that everybody felt the spirit because everybody was crying and they could feel the spirit. And I think that for the very first time, I think that was one of the healing moments.
mm-hmm.
And you said healing power of the atonement and the spirit. I think the spirit came at the time of the funeral to the whole family, and they somehow, I don't know how we could put that, but.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add another one. Spirit came what? During the funeral?
Well, everyone that attended the funeral, they said there was 500 people there, and when the 11-year-old spoke,
Oh, yeah, the eulogy.
there were tears in everybody's eyes.
Also, one thing that I thought about was how it's an opportunity to
The elderly woman.
how do I want to say this? To learn that, there are things that are out of your hands, and that is God's will on what happens, and our will.
I just want eulogy. It's going to bug me.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Just take out the first O. EULOGY.
Oh.
there you
There
go.
you go. Yeah.
And at that point, they started to turn their family around.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think to your point, Nicole, I think if we add draw closer to the Savior and align with His will,
Yeah.
I think that kind of sums that up.
I think they
For their family.
in the present at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They started living in the present. They became mindful of what was happening in their lives, and they were counting their blessings because the dad at that time said, "We don't know how long we have with any of these kids."
Yeah. So living, mindful living in the moment.
I think they started their lives from that point on living in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Susan, go ahead and add that. I think that's important.
Okay.
I think another thing, this could be wrong, but didn't they decide to take their son off life support when they realized that the elderly woman could have used that same resource or something like that?
I think they were leaning towards it, but they hadn't came to that decision. And then the doctor came and he's like, I know you guys are thinking, but you guys are debating on what to do, but this is what's going on right now. Like, I could really use that.
Yeah, those are my garments. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going
Who put that under number 5? I really like that. That they didn't talk or mourn the death of their child together to avoid the emotional pain.
I did didn't talk or mourn the death of their child together, and someone else added to avoid the emotional pain.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
I added it.
Yeah, that was good.
I just put lack of emotional intimacy.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and add that one.
Obviously they were physically intimate because they had 7 kids, but.
Oh, yeah.
Lack of communication.
Uh-huh.
I can't even spell today. See? I mean, they probably had a lack of physical intimacy as well. I mean, after a while, after 7 kids, I don't know.
What else? Let's see. I think the parent-child relationship would be potentially strained.
Yeah.
Because if the parents were always longing for the child that they lost, then the living kids would feel like they could never live up to the child that died. Does that make sense? That's a weird way of saying that.
It makes sense.
Does it make sense? Okay.
They couldn't find joy, and that went off on the kids.
Yeah.
The parents are supposed to be an example, and if they weren't joyful, then the kids weren't joyful, and I think that's...
Mm-hmm. Which probably led to a lot of their fighting, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think lack of communication, or would that go up with the first one?
I think it's worth separating it, yeah.
Okay, what did I do? Okay.
I also put that there's also the potential for the relationship with God to suffer if they blame him or question his plan.
I don't know what I did. I went to type lack of communication and I did something.
Where are you on number 5?
Oh,
Did I?
lack of emotional intimacy
That's all it was.
and communication. That's a good way of summarizing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna go for relationship with
Some people don't. That's a thing. And that is sad. But that's like my test. I found my key. So yeah, I like this stuff.
that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
What about?
I don't know. It's just really hard.
Do you think that something about maybe their relationship can suffer with each other, like the mom and dad?
Yeah, I think that's kind of nodded to in the lack of emotional intimacy, but we can be more specific if you feel like we need to.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Does that work? Okay, coping strategies. Who said prayer earlier? Was that you, Christine? Because I
Yeah.
think we brought up here.
I'll put it in.
Okay.
Being of service to one another.
Yeah. I would put prayer not only individual prayer, but couple prayer also.
reading scriptures probably.
Yeah. Doing
Scripture study together.
mm-hmm.
I also said one-on-one time with the children would help.
Oh, that's a good one.
And make sure you do.
If they are able to attend the temple.
Mm-hmm.
And also the family council and express love to each other. In the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Family council expressing love to each other in front of each other.
Right. Yeah, I think you got that one. Yeah, just expressing love, I think, is a coping strategy.
Service.
Yeah, imagine like would you feel comfortable like maybe now then? No, right now no. Wait, heck no. Like,
What about like those mood blogs or no?
Yeah, that's the first one. It says doing cognitive behavior
Oh,
therapy
okay, I
with
didn't
mood
catch
logs.
that up there.
Yeah, no, that's what I didn't catch either. And then I added a second one. I put mood logs. When I reread it, I was like, oh, it's already up there.
Sorry, I went ahead.
Yeah. Let's see.
you know how like you think about
What if I added this to that sentence?
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, I like that.
That work?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Want to throw out as many of these little terms here as we can.
Show that we are doing our homework, right? And
Right?
reading and-
We totally did it. Yeah, we did our reading.
I said cognitive. Come on. That means I read, right?
That's awesome. We said distortions. I read chapter 6.
I'm using big words.
Okay. Anything else on coping strategies, or can we move on to the next one? We're almost done.
Let's move on.
Okay. Recommendation to supporting or involved parties. The first thing that I thought of here is that the mother, initially, upon the death of the first baby, the mother should provide comfort to Jeanette, but also gently push her back to her husband for emotional support. Like, the marriage should never come second to the mother-daughter relationship.
I completely agree.
That's what I think. Because that was the first thing I'm like, well, why isn't that mom saying, I don't know, call him. I don't know, talk to your husband. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? That was my first thought. So I'm going to put that down.
But I was like kind of hoping to have like a terrible friend.
And she
Yeah,
played a-
because like if you guys are married, you know, you want to. I mean, yeah, outside resources are good, but you also want to lean on each other because that helps you, you know, grow stronger together.
Exactly. Well, I know in our marriage, like the hardest times have been when it's usually my fault that I go to my mom before I go to my husband, and then that it makes the problem worse. It doesn't even help at all. So that was the only one that I really came up with, other than basic like call your Relief Society president stuff. But
Yeah, I put Relief Society as well.
yeah.
And just like from the bishopric, even the elders quorum, like
Hmm.
One of them I came up with was the healthcare providers. Being able to answer questions
Yeah.
or recommend
Or would that go in the last one for additional resources like therapists and?
Oh yeah, that's true. What did I put down on that one? Additional resources. Oh, I
Because,
put the
like-
scriptures or grief counseling or support groups for people who have lost children.
Or like meeting with your bishop to kind of help, you know, offer suggestions on, you know, just developing that relationship with your Heavenly Father and
Mhm.
helping you turn to Him.
Yeah. So really these are kind of related. But if we look at, because they're kind of the same, let's say that number 7 is outside stuff that other people are doing for them. But then let's say that number 8, the additional resources, would be something they're doing to help themselves. Can we line it out that way?
Sure. That sounds
Yeah.
great.
Because like Relief Society and Elders Quorum, but what would they do? Because we're supposed to make recommendations. Like what could the Relief Society and Elders Quorum do specifically?
bringing
Meals and
Okay.
just
babysitting, mowing the lawn, walking the dog, house cleaning, all that kind of stuff.
blessings.
Priesthood blessings, yeah. Okay, so let's start typing some of those in.
Yeah, it's not like my at him, they text me, you know, and you know, whatever. He asked me to ask. My dad asked me I was out with me, supposed to be the guy. My dad said, make sure you talk with my.
Another thing I put in the bottom, the very last one, the additional resources. I just put get involved in service.
support groups.
And I just put like a personal experience of when my daughter was in the hospital when she was 4 months old, and it was kind of traumatizing for me. And one of the ways that I got over that was she came home with a blanket that she had used in her crib at the hospital. And so one of the ways that I was able to kind of process through that was I just made like 10 blankets, like the little fleece ones, and I took them to the hospital. And it kind of was like my way of paying forward, kind of getting over that. So I think that giving yourself the opportunity to serve others, I think takes you out of your own grief.
Absolutely.
So I think that we could put that on something that they could do to help themselves for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Or like that was in her house that he like negative feelings. Oh. I sent him a Snapchat. I was like, I'm not. I'm down. Like, tell me what is there, you know? Like, yeah. So yeah. You're just like,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Gosh.
You know, just like talking to them. And then he's
Okay,
like,
I like that. Anything else? Anybody?
No.
Let's just take a second really quick and kind of go through all of the questions and to see if there's anything else that we need to add.
Like, honestly, I look. What do you say?
Did we get in there that their parents, where was it that we talked about their parents? They came from homes that their parents weren't very supportive. Where did we talk about that? Did that get in here?
At the beginning?
That was at the beginning, I think.
Did we put that in here?
Oh, it's so fun that you can talk about that.
Am I missing it? Because I think that's so important that we add that.
Was that in the summary?
I think it
Well,
was.
that's like, and I had something.
I don't really know. I don't see it. I know we talked about it. Where would that fit in?
What is it again? I'm sorry.
Oh, the risk factors. Hold on. Was it into risk factors?
Like,
Okay, there it is. It's on number 3. Okay, I found it.
like a little head nod. I'm like,
Okay. Anything else?
It wasn't the risk factors?
I don't
Yeah. It's number 3, the very first one. The parents of Peter and Jeanette didn't provide the best examples of problem solving,
Oh, okay.
which could have contributed. I don't remember exactly how it's worded in the actual case study, but that seems like a pretty good summary of it to me. Okay. I think my stamp of approval is on there. I like it.
I just went through the summary and like looked for errors or anything like that. And
Yeah.
spacing.
right. Got it all lined up right.
I think so.
Well, number 2, where that ABCX model, we've got a hyphen there.
that's him on the mission.
Oh, there's another hyphen. No, we've got, that's okay, we've got it.
I think that's him. Yeah. Okay. I think that's been serious for a while. And then, no, like after that. The data is after.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, I agree.
That's super
Yeah.
Okay. So one of us, the instructions for this assignment, you guys, I thought they were so confusing. I think only one of us needs to now submit this.
Yeah, just one person.
Let me pull it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I have
Because I have the BYU meeting. Let's see.
Yeah, it's just one person, I remember reading that.
Yeah. Have one member of the group submit the worksheet with the group answers. The names of all participating group members should be on the document. Please make sure only one submission is made per group.
Okay. And we got all of our names on there, right? Everybody put your name. Okay.
We have a group number, like group 11 or something.
Yeah.
Should we put that?
I just chose 11 because I figured it was getting confusing. That whole thing was confusing.
Yeah, just put that.
All right. Let's put a little title on here.
We need a date on there, I don't know.
What am I doing? Case study.
Number 2.
Case study number 2. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Who's going to save this and submit it? Because I don't really know what to do with it now that it's in front of me. I don't know what to do.
Go ahead and do it.
I can.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, you're back. Did
Wait,
you
sorry.
disappear for a second, Christine?
Yeah, my computer just totally froze. I'm back though.
Oh, good. That's amazing that you found your way back. Okay, good. Okay.
So I can submit it if nobody else volunteered.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Okay.
I've never really messed with Google Docs, so my luck, I'd probably mess something up. So
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Oh,
So, okay, so Christine, go ahead and submit. I will go, I have this link to my YouTube account now, and I guess I'm supposed to submit that
yeah,
somewhere.
when you
Should it be
so
like,
right before you close out, there should be a link, or as you're closing out, there should be a link. You copy that link, and that's what you do
Does
to
that have to be
give it
submitted
access.
with
I want to though, because like
this?
I could like it.
Does anybody know? How do am I submitting that separate from this, or does it have to go all together?
I don't know.
Because I can go ahead and add it to the bottom of this before you submit it, Christine.
Okay.
Just add the link to the.
So you'll need to stop the recording, and then
Then find the link and then put it on?
I think when you get ready to exit out, it might show up when you stop the recording.
Okay.
If not, when you hang up, it should come across, and then you just copy that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop the broadcast. I don't think that will hang me up with you guys, so we'll just
No,
go ahead and
stop the recording. It won't hang up.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the broadcast. Good job, girls. We did it. Okay, here we go. Stop broadcast.